Yo, it's your boy Mr. Law back with another one. So, as y'all can see, my kids are behind me making the noise. So, there's nothing I can do about that, okay? Not yet. But hopefully one day I can get my own little area where I can record and we not hear no. Then we back with another one, baby. The real story of Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and JCole passing the crown from 2009. And we got none other than Jeremy Hecht. You know what I'm saying? He a great journalist. You know what I'm saying? He be up on this shit though. He be doing his research. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna break it down for us today in this video. So y'all sit back and relax. And make sure y'all subscribe. And let's see what Jeremy Hecht discovered in the real story of Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole passing the crown in 2009. And we're going to follow this series all the way through, and I will be reacting to every episode of the series. Let's get into it.
And I'm still humbled again by the amount of people that listen to it, because I used to be so self-conscious about the strikes against me. Like, I'm still in awe, and I'm still humbled again by the amount of people that listen to it, because I used to be so self-conscious about the strikes against me, like, coming from Canada and being on a TV show and being like, super light-skinned, this is some mad, like, this is things you used to be like, oh, is this gonna work? But now it gives me a chance to really accept that.
Bro, y'all see Drake back in the day without the beard, bro? Guys! I see why Kendrick was saying he was comfortable wearing a beard. Wearing a beard fit you more comfortable, right? I see why. Damn. Just imagine if Drake cut his beard off, bro. Bro looked like a naked mole rat. He looked like that mole rat off of Kim Possible. Rufus off of Kim Possible. But anyway, let's get back into it. Damn, Drake. God, Drake used to look like this. He been having that beard so long, bro. Damn.
I am something different. I am something new. Maybe I don't have to be the next Ye, or I don't have to be the next Wayne. I could just be the first Drake.
What up, y'all? It's JCole. If you don't know me now, but that stamp is gonna mean something in a minute.
Nobody will ever be able to pull up dirt about me because my music is so open and honest and there's no fronting involved. So that's my story. I'm just a regular guy who can actually rap really good.
I asked for this, headed for fame, but in my brain, hey, can I last in this? Yeah, 5 years, I'll probably laugh at this.
The half of the story of kids in Compton is just basically good kids in a mad city. Everybody get put to the test. You just got to make the right decision and see what path you're going on.
It's 2009. Kendrick Lamar is still rapping under the moniker K-Dot and working hard on his sound alongside the TDE team. At this point, he has the ambition and the skill, but he's spending hours in the studio perfecting his artistry and his sound. On January 30th, he releases his mixtape called
Man, do y'all know that mixtape right there, you feel me? C4, that was like for dedication to Lil Wayne, you feel me? You feel me? That's real rap, bro. I think Kendrick was on some stuff on that mixtape too. Real Kendrick fans know about that mixtape.
C4. The tape is an homage to one of his favorite rappers, Lil Wayne, and his Carter series. Kendrick raps over Wayne beats, and in the same way Wayne claimed best rapper alive on C3, on the opening track, Kendrick claims he's the best rapper under 25. Now keep in mind, Drake is 22 and J. Cole just turned 24 years old. And at this point, neither of them likely knows who Kendrick Lamar is. That tape also includes what Kendrick calls his worst song ever.
What's your wackest song?
My wackest song, it's called Bitch, I'm in the Club.
Bitch, I'm in the club with the homies.
Of course,
Bitch, I'm in the club. That song is whack, though. That song is whack, bro. At least he admitted.
This mixtape would have a completely different sentiment if you listen to GNX in 2025, but we're still in 2009. Let's shift from Compton to Toronto. Drake's song Replacement Girl gained him his initial buzz in the US after he got Trey Songz on a feature, and the video made its way onto BET. The song, among others, even reached Lil Wayne's ears with the help of Jay Prince's son, Jazz.
I met Jazz Prince on MySpace, actually. He was letting me know that he was around Wayne a lot. So, you know, I would sometimes be like, yo, you know, Wayne's got to hear my stuff. And months went by, you know, I got a call from his number. So, like, yo, what's up? This Wayne. I was like, who? He's like, yo, what's up? Where is it? Got to get down here to Houston.
That's crazy how you know Drake can act for real, because he sounds just like Lil Wayne when he was saying that. That's how you know, bro. That shit back in the day, like, just bring a whole different light to who Drake is, though, really, as a character, as a person. Because, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? His music slaps, you know what I'm saying? You can't take that away from him. But, like, this nigga should have just been honest. Just think about it. Drake would have been honest about everything, about him not thinking he the best rapper and shit like that, or just, you know, just going with who he was. You ain't gotta proclaim yourself. A lot of people is already proclaiming you to be the best, dog, and your shit. What you gotta be in competition with people for if you really feel like you're the best? So that gives other people an opportunity. Kendrick Lamar, man, that nigga, the GOAT, bro. He the best. You know what I'm saying? So when he get the opportunity to shine and like put you down, it's just like, bro, you shouldn't have never even, you know what I'm saying? Because from the beginning, even right here, when you sound like Lil Wayne, nigga, just like you can tell you easily influenced the act.
Then I gotta talk to you.
And by the start of 2009, the Drake hype was real. Even JCole was impressed the first time he heard Drake. It was one dude in particular that I remember seeing on MySpace, and he was this light-skinned R&B looking dude, but he had raps. It was kind of like neo-soul type raps, but he was talking about women or something. His whole demeanor was hella smooth. Speaking of, JCole just graduated from St. John's University and is working minimum wage jobs while still trying to pursue his rap dream with his Dreamville crew. His mixtape The Come Up gained him some buzz, and he was taking meetings, building his team, but he wasn't quite there yet. But he was willing to do whatever it took. He was literally handing out Come Up CDs with his phone number on the back, and one of those CDs he even tried handing out to his idol at the time.
Saw the press release that he was coming out with American Gangster, and you know what? I bet he's still kind of doing a few more joints. He hopped the train, we went there, we see this black Phantom turn the corner, and it's kind of like you just feel the energy of Hova. So Jay gets out of the car, walks up to the building, and I'm like trying to build up the nerve to go up to him with the CD. I'm like, yo, Jay, I got this. Like, what is this? Now he didn't say, what is this? He might have looked at it and he was like, I don't want this shit.
But we'll get back to Hove in a couple minutes. This is the story of how Kendrick Lamar, JCole, and Drake became the big three, and how their careers completely changed hip-hop forever. My name is Jeremy Hecht. Welcome to my channel. And how their careers completely changed hip-hop forever. My name is Jeremy Hecht.
I got this. Like, what is this? Now I don't even think he said, what is this? He might have looked at it and he was like, I don't want this shit.
But we'll get back to Hove in a couple minutes. This is the story of how Kendrick Lamar, JCole, and Drake became the big three, and how their careers completely changed hip-hop forever. My name is Jeremy Hecht. Welcome to my channel where we discuss hip-hop, and specifically the relationships between the biggest stars in the world. This is going to be the most in-depth breakdown of the big three available on YouTube, and it's going to be done in a 16-part series, one for each year from 2009 to 2025. It's called Passing of the Crown. These three artists were passing the crown between each other, sometimes even snatching it over the course of more than a decade, before it came to a head in 2024 and went from friends to frenemies to enemies in what can only be described as a Hollywood movie script. But back to the story. It's important to note, though, that as much as Drake's star power had risen by the end of the year, that there were other stars at the beginning of 2009 in their peer class who had a bit more success than him early on. From Kid Cudi to Wale, there was even a XXL freshman class that Drake was left off of. Here's what he had to say about it. I'm actually very grateful I wasn't on that cover. I feel like everybody that was on there deserved to be on there. I'm a fan of a lot of those guys. I just think I have a different path, a different story to tell. To be put in that group is like a gift and a curse. So to be the one guy that wasn't on there that everyone talks about or should have been in there is kind of a good thing. It kind of creates a little bit of fun tension. On February 13th, Drake releases his mixtape So Far Gone. Even LeBron James was at the listening party. The mixtape is released independently for free as a digital download, but it's treated like an album with mostly original music and features from Bun B, Trey Songz, Omarion, Lloyd, Lil Wayne, and more. This would be Drake's last independent release of his career, and it seemed almost unheard of to have a mixtape reach such a scale, especially as a new artist. The Drake hype went from he's next up to he's the hottest out very quickly. And this buzz was unlike anything the game had seen in a long time. The project was met with critical acclaim, and the first single, Best I Ever Had, ended up reaching #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and getting a lot of radio play. Kanye West even took notice of Drake early on and was rumored to be executive producing his upcoming album Thank You Later. He directed the music video for Best I Ever Had, which received some backlash at the time. If you know, you know. It didn't really fit the vibe of the song. And some people even accused Kanye of purposefully sabotaging Drake's career early on. But of course, it didn't work. Drake's second single successful with Wayne and Trey Songz.
But I'm not gonna cap though. A lot of my friends in the hood though, when they first heard Drake, they did not like that shit. For real. Well, a lot of the females I know they wasn't really fucking with it. Like when that brand new song came out, they're like, this is this nigga from the grass. I'm like, man, that shit hard. You know me, I'm an R&B nigga. I'm like, this hard, huh? What y'all talking about? Hey, you don't like that. So I just like, okay. But I ain't gonna cap, nigga, from 2000, 2008, like 2008, 2009, 10, 12, 13, you know what I'm saying? Drake, Young Money. Yes, sir. That was like, you know what I'm saying? They was like one of my favorite labels in the game. You feel me? Besides TDE, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, man, those were the good days, bro. Music it was a lot of different styles. It wasn't everybody trying to be everybody. And you know what I'm saying? There was more talent back then. As far as, original.
Songs ended up reaching #13 on Billboard, and ironically on that song Drake says, "Diss me and you'll never hear a reply for it." But in this rare interview with Joe Budden at the time, long before Joe was really a media personality, he prophetically told Drake that one day he will diss somebody as a rapper, and it seemed like Joe was excited for that day.
All right, so when do you see your first diss coming?
Hopefully like back to school times, like early fall.
All right, no, you think I said disc.
Disc or diss.
Yeah.
What a nice guy.
Now, somebody's going to send a shot at you.
I'm not like you, man. No,
I'm a nice guy.
You're a nice guy.
I'm nice.
But you're just too witty for your own good.
I be beefing with loser niggas. I be beefing with loser sensitive niggas. Somebody is going to...
I'm not going to diss me and you'll never hear a reply.
We heard the line. That was just a line.
That sound like Joe Budden and Drake. Make sure y'all subscribe to your boy Mr. Law. Who that is below, if that's Joe Budden or Drake. It's Joe Budden. That's crazy. That is interviewing Drake back in the day.
I'm not gonna diss me and you'll never hear a reply.
We heard the line. That was just a line. Somebody gonna say some shit. You're gonna feel some type of way, and the MC and you.
We know what happened just a few years later, but speaking of Kendrick, at this time he's doing small local shows and mostly locked in the studio working, while J-Rock was the label priority at TDE. But make no mistake, even though the masses weren't aware of Kendrick, he was plotting on the future. He officially changes his name from K-Dot to Kendrick Lamar and says in an interview with West Coast Styles that this was the reason. "I feel like I've grown as an artist. The world needs to know my story and know who I am as a person. I felt like what better way to do that than by using my own name. This is the first step in letting the world know who I am." While Kendrick was crafting his sonic identity and Drake was dealing with the newfound pressures of fame, JCole is securing a record deal. Jay-Z may have passed on his mixtape years prior, but when he heard Lights Please, he was sold on Cole. Through a mutual connection, Cole secured a meeting with Jay, and the rest is history.
Heard it, and the first song he heard, he was just like, "Yo, who is this kid? Can you bring him to me?"
From Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody called me, they're like, "Yo, Jay wants to sit down with you," and it's kind of like, half excitement, half like,
hey, boy.
like whatever. I believe it when I say.
That's back in the day, nigga, when JCole was fresh, nigga, to the game, nigga. Bro, those grind days, nigga. I remember when JCole first hit the scene, homie, on everything. And that nigga stuck. He still stuck through, nigga, like bars, rapping, and everything. But yeah, man, this nigga JCole, bro, been rapping since day one. We can't knock that, you know what I'm saying? And at one point, he kept the game running. You know what I'm saying? For a while. You know what I'm saying? As far as doing features for people coming out like while Drake was just dropping his albums and doing his shit, J. Cole, made a name for himself, you know what I'm saying? When Kendrick was gone and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? J. Cole was hopping on everything. Niggas was looking forward to hearing J. Cole verses, nigga. So we ain't gonna not act like this nigga JCole, just because he apologized as a real man would, you know what I'm saying? That he ain't one of the most talented rappers out there, bro. And I'm telling you, this nigga he taking time off, nigga. He's smart as fuck, bro. He doing what Kendrick did. He taking time off. When that Fallout album come out, nigga, that Fall Off album come out, just watch. Mark my words, bro. That shit gonna be a classic, homie. Watch. I'm telling you. Like, cause that nigga can rap for real. And like that, deleting this later shit, that shit was still hard, nigga. We is not gonna cap like that wasn't hard. But anyway, let's get back into this.
See it, and I get a call one Monday morning, yo, you have a meeting today that you didn't know about, and my heart dropped. It's like, this is it, you know, like, so I had to rush from Long Island out to the city. It was a beautiful day right there.
In June 2009, Cole drops his follow-up mixtape, The Warm Up, also to critical reception, and secured his spot as one of the next up from his generation. But Cole is still looking at Drake as one of the leaders of their class. This was his reaction to hearing So Far Gone while listening during a spring break trip to Miami. Cole even changed the way he looked at mixtapes because of Drake. The second I heard Say What's Real, I was blown away because of how good it was. Subconsciously, I was like, there was someone else out there the whole time that was working maybe just as hard as I was working. When we got to Miami, everybody was playing So Far Gone. And you could see right away, oh, this is a phenomenal shift. And you could tell Cole was still looking at the distance between him and Drake at that time. And it was something that he felt like he needed to catch up to, saying, I'm not even anybody yet. And this dude's off to the races with hits like cultural shifting shit. At that moment, I had to shift my mindset about what the warm-up was about to be because Drake just changed the game. Around the same time, in June, Drake officially announces that he had signed a multi-million-dollar record deal with Young Money and Universal Republic after a bidding war between multiple labels. And looking at interviews at the time, it seemed like Drake was actually thinking about what it would look like to just remain independent. But ultimately, he signed. Drake joins Nicki Minaj and Tyga as part of the Young Money crew and went on tour with Wayne, dropping notable singles like Bedrock and Every Girl. Which at the time I remember thinking, every girl? You need every single one. Baby. But Cole would get one of his first big mainstream looks from his now mentor and boss when he appears on the aptly titled A Star Is Born, off of Jay-Z's Blueprint 3 album. Cole goes on tour with Hove alongside Wale and raps the verse live every night in what feels like a passing of the torch moment. In June, Drake officially announces that he had signed a multi-million-dollar record deal with Young Money and Universal Republic after a bidding war between multiple labels. And looking at interviews at the time, it seemed like Drake was actually thinking about what it would look like to just remain independent. But ultimately, he signed. Drake joins Nicki Minaj and Tyga as part of the Young Money crew and went on tour with Wayne, dropping notable singles like Bedrock and Every Girl. Which at the time I remember thinking, every girl? You need every single one. But Cole would get one of his first big mainstream looks from his now mentor and boss when he appears on the aptly titled A Star Is Born, off of Jay-Z's Blueprint 3 album. Cole goes on tour with Hove alongside Wale and raps the verse live every night in what feels like a passing of the torch moment. Drake also appears on the Blueprint 3 on the hook of Off That, a song that I say includes one of Jay-Z's only 3 losses in his career. Auto-Tune, Nas, and trying to get New Yorkers to stop wearing Timbs. It's never gonna happen. That summer, Drake appears alongside Kanye, Lil Wayne, and Eminem for the LeBron James documentary soundtrack song called Forever. This is where Drake stamps himself as the greatest while he's rapping alongside his biggest inspirations. Cole also had a standout verse on Wale's debut album Attention Deficit with one of his best early verses, Beautiful Bliss. Let me know where that ranks in your all-time Cole verses list below. In December, it was announced that Drake was nominated for 3 Grammys, including Best New Artist. And on the last day of 2009, Kendrick Lamar dropped the Kendrick Lamar EP under the official moniker of his real name for the first time. But even though he may have been the least known out of the 3 in this year, Dot was looking towards the future. Here's what he said at that time about what he was working on. I've got 2 major projects. We're doing it ourselves from the ground up. And those 2 major projects likely became Kendrick Lamar OD and Section 80. But it seems like he was already looking forward to his debut album.
Like you gotta take, that's how the OGs take the pictures, you feel me? So you gotta try to look the hardest you can look in the picture, like the toughest. I'm gonna be strong. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's why he was posing like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? They be like, you know, you make jailhouse to jailhouse. Man, we'll flip by a lot of niggas in jail because they are mamas, our daddies, our grandmas, our aunties, our uncles. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. It happens. That's all. That's what's really influenced. know what I'm saying? It's what it is. Can't help where you come from. All you gotta do is just try to grow from it.
Considering this is how he described himself in that same interview. I was a kid growing up in Compton, a positive kid that wanted to rap, but facing the peer pressure that comes with growing up in that city. I was born and raised there. The thing that separates me from a lot of others is that I have a father who persuaded me to go on the right path. I'm a good kid in a mad city. That's my story. A good kid in a mad city. But as for 2010, Drake is looking to prove his lasting power with his debut album. Kendrick is looking to prove that he's a problem with his upcoming mixtape. And JCole is looking for a breakthrough hit so that he can release his debut album under Roc Nation. Until then, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss when episode 2 drops. Hit the like button and share this with the biggest Drake, Kendrick, or Cole fan.
Man, bro. This nigga Jeremy Hecht, I appreciate you, bro, for breaking this down, dog, for us. But yeah, man, that's the real story of Drake, Kendrick Lamar. Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole passing the crown 2009 from, journalist Jeremy Hecht, you know what I'm saying, breaking it down for us. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all subscribe to your boy, Mr. Law. But yeah, there you have it, bro. Make sure we watch episode 2. That's episode 1. We're going to tune in and we're going to react to episode 2 too. He did a great job at breaking it down. If y'all learned something, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Appreciate y'all, Law family. Love y'all.